Today I'm going to show you how to include test runs in comments in your program code. We like to test our programs thoroughly to make sure they're correct, and it's very useful to see these test runs saved so that if you're a student and you upload your program file, the instructor can then look at the test runs to see that your program is correct. So how do we put test runs in comments in program code? Well, open up a Python idle shell window and then select File, New File. I'm going to save this file as, I'll save it to the desktop as usual. I'll call it testruns.py. Right, let's have a simple program. Say we want to find the area of a rectangle. Okay, so let's put our recommended comments at the top of the file. So we'll program file and we'll call it testruns.py. That matches the file that I've saved. And I'm going to put programmer. So that is yourself. In my case, this is me. Oh, I want to put a capital D there. And we always put the date. So today's date is Tuesday the 26th of September 2017. Time is 8:01 PT, 8:01 Pacific time. Right, what's the purpose of this program? Purpose: calculate the area of a rectangle. And if you want, you can put the formula in here. From formula area is length multiplied by width. Right, so that's pretty good. Now I'm going to put status here. This file currently is incomplete, so because I haven't finished it yet. And any other comments you want to put at the top, you can do that here. So these are recommended comments. So you want the file name, the programmer's name, the date, what's the purpose of the program, status of the program, whether it's incomplete, complete. So now let's write the program. We'll enter the length and width from the keyboard. So this time we'll have length is float input, because we want to input a float. And then I'll put, please enter the length. Please enter the length. Again, don't forget the two brackets there to match the two opening brackets here. And remember, this is float input because we might be entering a decimal point rather than an integer, which is a whole number. Now, to separate this from the comments, I could put a blank line there just to make it easier to read. This blank line will be ignored when the program runs. Now I want to get the width. Now, to save a bit of typing, I'm going to copy that line and paste it here and type width here. Oops, get it correct. Width and width. Now we know the formula, so we're going to have a new variable called area, and this will take the values length multiplied by width. And then we want to print the output, so we'll say print the area is area. Okay, so, oh, spelled that wrong. There. So this looks good. Let's test it. So let's run. Now, when it's expecting a float, you can input an integer. So let's say 10, 2. It will output as a float. So that's 20.0, and there it is. Good. Let's close this shell, run again. Oh, we don't need to close it. Let's just rerun and restart it in the same window. Let's run again, and let's have 10.5 and 1.0. That will give us 10.5. And so that we know is correct. We could always double check that using the online calculator. So just click on your online calculator and you can check it on the calculator to make sure that these numbers are what you expect. Okay, well, this is useful information. I've tested it 2 times. I could test it more, but I'm pretty confident that it's working. So I'd like to put this inside my comments here. Now, comments start with a single hash symbol, and you put it at the start of the line, and then you can write a single comment. Comments can also be put at the end of a line, so I could say, this is the formula. This comment will be totally ignored when the program runs. So you can either put your comments at the start of the line where all the other lines start, or you can put a comment at the end of a line. Now, we usually do this when we want to add some extra information for the reader of the program, just to make sure they understand maybe some part of the program that's a little bit hard to understand. In this case, obviously, this is irrelevant because we know this is the formula. But this is just to demonstrate you can put a comment at the end of a line if you wish. Now, because comments are single line, starting with the hash symbol. Now, if we wanted to have a comment that spanned multiple lines, then we would have to use 3 single quote marks. So I'm going to put 3 single quote marks, and then I'm going to press enter 3 times and put 3 single quote marks again. Now notice the quote marks are shown in green. That's because this is actually a string. It's a string with spaces in between it on multiple lines. Now you can have a string that spans multiple lines if you start your string with 3 single quote marks. So what we're going to do is copy the output of our program code in the shell window. So I'm going to do edit copy, and I'm going to paste that in between those single quotes, 3 single quotes, 3 single quotes. Now what this has done is converted our output, which I copied here, into a string. And this string is contained in 3 single quotes, which means the string can span multiple lines. So this is one way we can make a comment that spans many lines instead of having to start each line with a single hash symbol. This string, which I'm using as a multi-line comment, will be ignored when the program runs. So let's run this program again. This string will be ignored. These comments will be ignored. The program itself will start on this line. So let's run again. Now I've changed, so I'll save the program and I'm going to run again. And let's test with another length. So let's say 100.456 and 27.123. And this is the output. So if I want to include this run inside my test runs here, I'm going to copy these. So I'm in the shell when I'm copying these, And then I can put them anywhere between the area from the end of these two runs and the three ending single quotes. So I'm going to paste here, so just put paste, and there you go. So I've got 3 test runs showing exactly how my program ran and the output. Now you would always double check your output with using a calculator to make sure your results are what they should be. And when you're happy with your program, now I can say that this program is complete, and I can put a comment here saying my test runs follow, which means they are here between the 3 single quote marks. And that's how to put test runs inside a comment inside your program file. So I'm now going to save that to make sure I don't lose it. And now that ends my movie for this topic.